I had visited Coorg, a hill station in Karnataka, India, back in May 2022 for a staycation with family. I had carried along with me acrylic paints and also canvas to do some plein air paintings. I decided to sit at the balcony of one of the rooms in the top floor and paint our view from there. I set up my tiny easel that I find quite comfortable to carry along in my suitcase, and I put up the canvas block on top of it. This canvas block is pretty easy to carry along as it weighs less and it has multiple sheets so you can make more paintings. So join me in today's video to see the entire process of how I make this beautiful painting. My art supplies consisted of acrylic tubes, a peel of paint palette, water cups, some round and flat brushes, and a cloth to clean them. It was quite a cold late afternoon and not much of sun, and there was cool breeze that was blowing, and I think it was the perfect setting for me to paint outdoors. Although some sunshine would have helped to get some shadows and light, but I feel like sometimes even without that, it's quite nice to paint. While using acrylics on a sheet, you will notice that blending is much more easier and smoother than on canvas. You don't have to prep the sheet and you can just begin with the word get go. It can take quite a lot of layers and you can finish this much sooner than a canvas. You notice I have not made any sketch. I just went with the flow. I decided to paint whatever I saw in front of me, which is basically these mountains and lots of trees in front of it. So what I did was I sat in front of the entire view and I was chatting, sipping some coffee and making this painting. The setup is also very easy when you have to sit down and paint, but when you're standing and painting, you would need a tall surface to prop the tiny easel on. So for me, I think it worked perfectly because this wall has enough space to put this easel on, and I was just hoping that I don't push the easel down while I'm painting. A lot of times when I'm painting, I completely zone out. I have no clue how my camera is placed, and sometimes it leads to a lot of funny angles. But I decided it's alright to share this side of me with you guys, and so I decided let me just edit whatever is there and show you guys because the process of the painting is, I think, more important for you to see. Notice how my strokes are, the layering details that I do, and my style of handling for the details in the end. Every artist has their own style, and maybe this will help you figure out yours and embrace it. It's very easy for us to get carried away looking at other artists, and then we start questioning our style and work. It's important for us to just pause, reflect, look at our artwork, analyze it, and decide our steps forward. It's a good idea also for you to look back at your previous work, watch your journey every few months, notice the progress you have made, and note it down somewhere. Sometimes there would be quite a leap, and sometimes there would be tiny leaps, and both are totally okay. Just remember to keep creating art. Every artist has their own style of painting, and I normally try to complete a painting in one sitting. I really don't have the patience to work on it over multiple days or weeks, for that matter. I think there have been a few paintings that I had to make over multiple days, but that's more because of the size of it. But whenever I have like an A2 or an A1 or an A0, I think I would take a couple of days, but when it's something like an A3, I think up to an A3, I would just finish it over one day. I think me as a person is what reflects in my style of art. So just figure out what style suits you the best, and then you'll be able to figure out yourself, or vice versa. This style of finishing a painting in one session has helped me a lot to improve my speed and has also helped my observation skills. When I paint, I feel that time just pauses for me and I'm floating around in my bubble, creating magic. The feeling of painting on location just cannot be explained. It is something everyone must experience in their life. I would highly recommend you to try this out once. It does not have to be a detailed painting. Just create whatever you see in front of you when you're traveling, and it will just help you to create memories for life. I also ended up painting with acrylics on my sweatshirt, which is a sweet memory of this staycation for me. So during this entire staycation, I did quite a bit of acrylic paintings. I also made another smaller one whose video link I'll leave in the description box below. Do go and have a look at it if you haven't already. Normally, acrylics are quite hard to carry along if you're flying, as apparently they tend to open up during the air travel. I did travel with them once to Goa in 2021. Luckily, nothing happened to it, but I've been told that they do tend to open up or break while travel. So I try to avoid doing that right now. But during this trip, I was traveling more by train and car, so it was pretty easy for me to pack them along. Nature is the best place for you to nurture your artistic creativity. It helps you to forget your worries and you don't feel as anxious as you do otherwise. There are hardly any distraction here, so it's quite a smooth ride when you have to paint in nature. Since this is a homestay, it was quite relaxing for me to do plein air painting because there aren't any people coming over and looking at your work. I normally don't get pressurized by that, but yes, it does sometimes distract you or make you feel like there is a little bit of a need to deliver. I think it's completely up to an artist to decide when the painting is complete. You can keep going on and on, but at some point you need to just look back at your painting, walk a little bit of steps behind, look at the painting from distance, and then decide if you're satisfied with it. I love the final outcome of the painting, and I hope you enjoyed watching my process and hearing my views on plein air paintings. And I really hope that I've inspired you to pick up your paintbrush and make a few paintings. Do let me know in the comment section how you find my rendition of this beautiful scene in the form of an acrylic painting.